Belarus. People of Belarus know that as Putin's most putrid pleasures of wasted life consumes his twisted sense of humor, the seas will also become tinged with blood, and men will lie in wait under the waves for their prey. And it will come to pass that the rats will stop and transform into mice, and the mice will eat the cat that was chasing them. And all of mankind will come to see that this disgraced KGB man, Putin, had always had a deadly wish to become hell's most evil ferryman of its flaming lake of fire, since he only wants to give fools and naive people rides as the transporter of the damned. So get out of bed with that guy, people. You don't know who you've been buddying up with, and you're not going to want to be buddies very long, I guarantee you. So it's time to reverse your curse, O people of Belarus, and join with the allies and close your borders to that madman. Otherwise, you will have eternal pain and suffering where flames of sulfur floats with the blackest abyss of love occurs. But Putin's gaze of treachery shall have no effect in hell, for his brands of debauchery and madness were long ago clearly foretold, and have always been expected by believers. Through God's literal word of prophecy. So woe unto that Hitler of Hitler's wannabe, for it's Putin alone who's facing the eternal dusk until it dawns upon him that he's nothing more than a wretched soul who will everlastingly be cast away into the place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. And due to his politics of utter destruction, the land of the West will become one vast desolation after his reddest button explodes, and the lands of the ocean will be crushed and suffer all the pangs of hunger unless the whole world unites in a great brotherhood of kingdom age love. And of that foretold castaway of the book of Revelation and the book of Daniel, he is clearly the blackest snake of death that darts out his lying, silvery forked tongue of propaganda because he is such a viper. And so woe unto that destroyer of earth as he slithers into position to release his poison. Woe unto the naive as that reptilian human coils his madness around love's rejected innocence, constricting it within his coils of lies until its breasts of peace can never breathe again. No escape will there be from his spell of evil if people have discernment not. So behold not that snake therefore in his hypnotic eyes, lest that new Vlad the Impaler mesmerize such foolish gazers, since he's the most toxic snake charmer of all unloving Russians. And with greed as his pillow, says the Lord Bog unto Russians, Vladimir has hidden away billions of dollars to finance his new coming out party of utter death and destruction. So woe unto that revealed beastly man of sin who loves feasting at sinful tables of power imagined and lusted for. And woe unto that disgraced father of daughters of Maria and Yekaterina, and the accursed lover of Kabavia, who gave him 2 sons and another daughter, for they all shall evermore be ashamed of their loveless father, who is clearly heaven's most accursed Papa Vlad, the most accursed killer of killers. For by the spirit of prophecy the wise shall soon come to believe the absolute everlasting gospel truth that as a S&M lover, and he does, Vladimir Putin loves imagining pleasures most forbidden, orchards of death's unripened fruit, in his garden of doom of the darkest gloom. So thus saith the Lord Bog of Russia, Vladimir is but a snake like of Eden, shedding its outer skin, gaining in strength and power with every act of evil that he has his people to perform, and he laughs like a hyena as he mocks those beneath him, while laughing as a jackal while he waits for his own grim reaper to arrive, so that he can pull his most deadly weapon out, as it is foretold. And as it is foretold, eyes shall be consumed away in the book of Zechariah in their sockets, and tongues shall be consumed away in the mouths, and flesh shall be consumed away, even before any corpses even have a chance to fall to the ash-filled ground. So Rasputin, the kingdom-age prophet of hope, now passionately warns his comrades, who are but brothers of other mothers, for if they keep ignoring his most accurate prophecy, a terrible stormy fire will consume all life on earth, exactly as Isaiah 24, Malachi 4:6, Deuteronomy 18:18 all predict, along with Zephaniah 1 and Matthew 24:22. And after that foretold thermonuclear explosion, all life in the world will die, as Zephaniah declares. So he wrote the end times predictions to be given at this time of the end, in order to warn all people of love about our approaching catastrophe, and to console them so that they would be empowered to ascend unto heaven instead of being blasted right down to hell. And if these words of this prophecy are not passed out unto the nations obediently by people who will not obey the spirit of love, by love's most obedient spirit of hope, then Rasputin guarantees that it shall come to pass that multitudes will soon be dying as accursed Russian soldiers start walking knee deep in blood, for there won't be anyone to bury the stinking corpses that they'll be dumping into huge pits, just to bury all hope that's come from the satanic arising of Vlad the Annihilator of Dreams, the KGB asshole, Mr. Putrid Putin, and I have declared war upon you, sir. And for by the Spirit of truth, it is Vlad alone who plans on taking the whole world to the edge of our total oblivion. And for that cause, Rasputin prophesied that the four sisters of the Ukraine, Belarus, Greece, and Russia would in the latter days be dressed in silk that would immediately be changed into filthy rags. And he said that if a man doesn't hear Christ's word here and through his prophecy that cuts time short, because Christ sent Rasputin and me inspiration for prophecy, then he said that then all dying sisters will have their eyes gouged out and their nails pulled out after their ears are sliced right off their heads. Talk about fools not wanting to hear. And then their beauty would turn into a great ball of fire within them to incinerate all chances of ever being able again to thrive alive. So Rasputin insisted that mankind must pay close attention to the Lord's great seed of time that's found only within prophecy alone. Otherwise, all people not looking towards the great Canadian North Star shall die terrible deaths, for life will only come from the Lord Star of Stars, and he is shining his light in Canada from his star of Bethlehem, who he is, as he arises as the great sun of love, bringing hope and peace at the beginning of World War III, so all nations can be healed as they embrace the abundant life and healing for all those willing to mount up on the whitest wings of his most regal eagle of the eons, who is on the Polish flag, who is his whitest dove of love, who brings forth the flying scroll of Zechariah 5, which is the everlasting gospel of Revelation 14. I am Elijah, the latter-day Daniel of Daniel 12:13, and I am the prophesied end-time writer with stammering lips, and that means shocking. And if you don't believe me, guys, to see my Walter Brennan impersonations. Bye now. Yep.